I've been umming and ahhing about this drum, for a couple of months actually. I wanted something a little bit more ringy. I wanted something that was loud and had some ring to it. Now I still want to get a 14x6.5 bell brass. I would love to get a Tama one. Whether I do or not, I've been thinking about that a little bit more recently, but I don't know. I've got 3 bell brass DWs. They're great, but they don't kind of have... they're just lacking a little bit of body for me, and it may just be the way I've got them set up. Anyway, this drum, as I said, I've been looking at for a while, and it just so happened on my travels on the internet that I found this drum. And one of the store I got it from was doing it about 75 or so pounds cheaper than everywhere else, and so it was kind of it was probably the thing that swayed me the most. There was a couple of other snare drums that I was looking at, which actually both had thicker shells. This is a 1.2mm bronze shell, and the other 2 drums that I were looking at. One was a 2mm brass shell, a 14x7, and the other one was a 14x6.5 3mm steel shell. And I was I'm kind of intrigued by the thicker shell sort of idea, concept, practical thing. So this kind of seemed to be a bit of a no-brainer, and from what I could see, this had sort of all round fairly good sort of reviews, and you know the stores were saying good things about it, and you know the sound files that I could hear when I was watching sounded pretty good. I did see one. It was Shane from the Drum Centre of Portsmouth, New Hampshire. He does some nice videos, and I've never dealt with him. I've never bought anything from there. But they do some nice videos. They do some nice content. They're probably worth checking out if you want to, you know, sort of get some good quality and honest sort of feedback on some drums. But no, he did a video on this, and he said it sounded great at medium and high tuning, but not so great at sort of a lower tuning. And I've not expansively played with this yet, but I can kind of see where he's coming from on that. It does seem to do mid to high really well, low not so much. But it is 14x5.5, so you know it's not the fattest, it's not the deepest of shells. So I wouldn't necessarily expect the fattest of sounds from it either. So, but the drum itself, it's the bronze SLP. Which, you know, I've commented before about the SLP line. This is a continuation, I think, of how good these drums are. You know, it's the similar stuff, similar features. You've got the very basic sort of Gladstone type throw off there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, so it's a 10 lug, die cast hoops. It really makes the drum feel meaty. You can really lay into them as you would with any sort of drum, really, with die-cast hoops. But I think that really gives it's a sort of a tight, controlled but still sort of ringy sound, as you'll hear in a minute. But you can really lay into this drum. Double-ended tube lugs. You know, fairly nondescript butt plate there. It's Evans G1 on these ones. So Evans G1 on the top coated, Evans 300 on the bottom, 20 strand Star Classic wires, and that's really it. You can I'll do a better close up of the shell. Fairly standard bearing edge. It's a bent over bearing edge, like you know, probably the majority of metal snare drums. And you have got quite a wide that's the snare bed, so you've got quite a wide snare bed there. Well, I got this for $275 sterling. Usually they're about $349 on average, and whatever that is in the US. But I don't think it's overpriced. at $349. I think it's probably a good price at $349. It was a fantastic price at $275, and it looks nice too. I mean, again, it's catching the light, but it's kind of a, I'd say it's a sort of matte bronze finish, and I'm assuming that it won't patina or anything. I don't really care if it does, but yeah. It's a nice drum so far. As I said, it's very consistent with what I've experienced with the rest of the SLP line, and I'm quite happy with that. So, yes, here's what it sounds like. Here's what it looks like in detail. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.